gave you 5 more minutes.
Lucy will not be here. I'd like to call a public hearing to order for the ordinance 2311-1401 rezoning of 1190 Gullahar Road. If anyone's here to speak on this public hearing, please come forward and state your name and address, and this public hearing will be open for 10 minutes. Thank you.
Draw your attention to the new ink pens that we have. Best writing ink pens ever.
Really?
Pretty good.
I stole the ideas from Eddie's Body Shop.
Yeah. Hey, I ask you about Santa Claus. I was going to dress up this week and go down there until I saw it. I was going to do it tomorrow or Friday morning.
I don't get with Logan. They're going to do. I think one day that I think David said that David Choate is going to dress up as the Grinch and do school traffic one morning.
I knew that. It was
So,
good.
yeah, it's a big hit.
Yeah. So, let's see.
Well, Tommy's not here, so we'll have to speak up tonight. And Lucy's sick. I think Rockwood, they don't even have no meetings in December. Finish up everything in November, so they have December off for all the Christmas.
This mean I'm a reserve officer now?
Sure.
Probably wouldn't qualify though.
Oh yeah, you would. If you're upright and breathing, you can.
So, you don't take anything. I guess. Little Post-its.
No, you won't. You read the one out in the parking lot, Logan. Hey, you gonna see?
What's that? Go back.
We're using the bag.
Well, except for this one. Yes, I could.
I do.
I need to speak with you. After the meeting, I need to speak with you. I need to talk to you after the meeting.
Oh, okay.
I need to talk
Oh,
to you
you're in
after the meeting
trouble.
also.
Huh?
I need to talk to you after the meeting also.
We must have done it. And I thought we'd been pretty good.
Okay. Cause there's always one sitting up here, I'm like, well, I'm a jar opener, maybe it's not a jar opener.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, Stephanie, put it under your eye.
Yeah, think?
Yeah, just
Teardrop.
Oh.
teardrop.
How about
When
you
we don't
do?
get our way, we have to put one of these up.
Oh, yeah, that's what I need.
Did you get your letter off the judge?
I haven't yet.
official capacity, send
The,
Ken a letter and request him to fly
workers' comp insurance thing,
council for
had a number from New York.
and we'll get that.
My phone
That
was
on
out
this
today.
one.
No,
Okay.
New York.
Yeah,
I feel like
Along with all this other
stupid calls all the time. And left a message. It's amazing.
Oh, I'm sure.
She's with, I thought she said ISIS. Well, it's the one switched over our workers' comp at work, my shoulder. She let me know that she had sent me an offer in the mail. She couldn't tell me on the phone what it was. Either I accept for this line and call her back and she take a verbal answer over the phone. I said, okay. I said, how much is it? She said, well, I can't tell. I have to let you have the letter. You have to read it. But it sounds like I'm horsing you or something. I said, okay. I said that. I went to last visit and they give him the paperwork to do my rating and done everything he said to do. He said, well, you've got impairment here and here. So I tried calling the office when I got home, and this so happens the PA was us, and
I
he said,
think,
yeah, he said,
my
we
opinion,
filled that out a month ago.
public hearing should start
Really?
at 6
He said, yeah,
p.m.
it's the last meeting, that's what we done. I said, okay.
Nobody's here
I
at
said,
6.
so how do I get a copy of it? He says, we can make a copy. I said, I just want to know what the rating was. He said, oh, 5%.
Oh, that's one.
Well, we're getting them there, but we just ain't got them on.
Did they?
Yeah, they wired half of it up to
Some of them work.
with the west side was the other night.
Your dad went to Oak Grove? He went to Oak Grove?
But I went out there today, they were all of them buckets and whatever. You know, I threw a good cone, got it
No,
stopped.
I don't,
Really?
David said, I think
I
they
don't
called
know.
him, cause I told him, hey,
But I think you had looked it up that night and saw something. I have no way to find that.
they got sixties,
Might be down there years since, I guess,
they like 15 more.
since Tommy died.
Well, they should have. Huh?
3 minutes, Miss Kelly.
Oh, yeah. They don't work on Fridays.
You don't use
They don't work in the rain.
Kyle's daughter signed with her own state.
It's not already you doing it. It's progressive. Progressive. Yeah.
Call her KK or something.
Oh.
KK, you say?
Her name's Kaylee, but yes.
We've got one more, and we'll sign it.
If nothing don't change, I'm gonna probably stay till March.
Baby,
If nothing changes, I'll probably stay till March.
And Kraus is going to,
Kraus is going to Denver?
Huh?
Kaylee is going to Kentucky. Kaylee's going to take Kaylee Lane, David's house.
Yeah. He,
No, she's got the boys.
If you're under the gas, no, it's COK Wireless.
Yeah.
COK Wireless.
Central City said that.
All lowercase, no spaces.
What would be cheaper for the new unit? They want $10,000.
We changed the name of it. We had to
And I was like,
put different access points in it.
so got a guy at work, he's gonna come look at it this weekend, if the weather permitting. And it kicks on and everything, but it ain't heat. So I don't know. It's 15, 16, 17 years old. But ain't one thing, it seems like it's 3 more.
always something.
So I found this logo the other day, and I'm thinking about trying to play around with it and see if we can make put Kingston and then TN
Mhm.
and then put that big long word that nobody can present.
Okay.
And then established in 1799. Wouldn't that look
They
cool?
have like the peach orchard thing back here.
Well, you could do peach order, you could do
Never
this
seen
thing,
one.
our big logo, and put it right there.
Earlier.
I think it would look cool.
I'd work here.
I gotta work on that and see if.
I think Don, he went to Phoenix. A lot of people there. I've met him a couple of times.
I want to announce it again since there's people in here that are not.
Again, I'll ask that we're in public hearing. If anyone here is wishing to speak on the ordinance 2311-1401, the rezoning of 1190 Galahar Road, please come up to the speaker. And if not, this public hearing will be concluded in just a few minutes. Just a few seconds. All right, now the public hearing is closed. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Kingston City Council, our regular meeting. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand, and I'll ask Mr. Brown if he'll do the invocation, and Mr. Childs to lead us in the pledge of the flag. Before that, though, I would like to have a moment of silence for the passing of Mr. Brown's father. In his honor and memory, he passed away last week, Mr. Ralph Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight once again, as I say every month, with grateful hearts because we have so much to be thankful for. And most of all, we have your son to be thankful for. But we ask tonight that you keep the Brummett family in the prayers after the death of Councilmember Brummett and also one of our own in the Larry Cox family. Wrap your healing arms around those folks and let them have blessings. Be with the Brown family as they go through this hard time also. But most of all, dear Lord, we want to thank you and remember that the season is upon us and that we never take light what we are celebrating, and to remember to always keep Christ into Christmas and keep us ever mindful of the needs of others. We ask all those things in your son's name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you, Mr. Childs. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Bradwell.
Here.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Present.
Councilmember Childs.
Present.
Councilmember Gwynn. Councilmember Johnson. Councilmember Wright.
Present.
Mayor Neal.
Present. Now I need to have approval of previous minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the previous minutes as written?
Make a motion.
Motion from Mr. Childs. Is there a second? Second, Mr. Bradwell. Any corrections or deletions to the minutes?
No, sir.
Seeing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll on the minutes.
Councilmember Bradwell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Childs.
Yes.
Councilmember Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Now is the time we set aside for any citizens' comments. If anyone's wishing to address the council, please come forward and state your name and address the council. Okay. Seeing none, we'll go into reports. Mayor and council, I'll start with Ms. Wright, see if she has anything.
I do not.
Mr. Brown?
Again, I want to say a thank you to the city for all that they did in the passing of my father. I got a lot of things from my father. I got arthritis and gray hair, and I think I got the reason that I'm on council. He was on city council for 8 years. He was the first vice mayor down in Rockwood. He was chairman of the Rockwood Utility Board for 8 years, and he was always giving to someone else. But most of all the department heads came, and the police department, Chief Washam, your police officers stayed there and escorted the procession to the funeral or to the gravesite, and the Brown family really appreciates all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Mr. Childs?
Nothing.
Mr. Bradwell? The only thing I have to report is the job that the guys have done with our Christmas lights downtown, and they I think we've kind of stepped up other people's game in this city, and I think it's kind of going to bleed over to our other cities that are seeing the comments of everyone who comes through Kingston and how good it looks. So I'd pass that along to them, and I'll pass it along when we have our dinner later. That's all I have. I'm going to turn it over to you, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few things here in addition to my written report. The bill grant, as you know, we're finally moving, seeing some movement on that. We have our first meeting set. That will be January the 12th at 2 p.m., probably here at City Hall. I'll let you know that for sure. It depends on the head count, but more than likely it'll be here. We're going to have representatives from FHWA, Community Development Partners, Ardura, and hopefully TDOT at that meeting. That'll be the first really significant step. in getting this going and a real start to the process. So hopefully, if any of you are interested, you'll be able to attend that. The 352 lighting, I know a lot of people are watching that project, anxious to see that done, see the lights come back on. Check this afternoon. They had 45 completed, 15 more to go. So hopefully not too much longer on that. And I appreciate Larry Brackett for everything he's done to try to keep them moving. So be glad to see that done. I may or may not have mentioned this already. If I did, disregard. But I was just going to let you know we did receive a capital improvement grant. It's a 100% grant in the amount of $33,250 that we applied for Ford improvements. We're going to be using that to do some work on the Palisade wall. So anxious to get that going. And again, that's 100% money. So we like those kind of grants anytime we get them. Finally, just you may have seen my email this afternoon about the STP project for Ladd Boulevard. As you could probably read into that email, I'm pretty frustrated by the lack of progress on that. I'm sure some of you are as well. We've had this engineering firm in place for now 2 years and a month, and I don't feel like we're anywhere near as far along as we should be. We should be done. The latest correspondence I got from the engineer, which was the middle of last month, was placing the blame on TDOT. I don't know that I believe that. So I wanted to make sure that TDOT was looped in. And I haven't heard back from the engineer since I sent that or from TDOT. But I did hear from Representative Fritz and Senator Yeager's offices who said anything they can do to help. They certainly will. So hopefully that'll shake the tree up a little bit, but I'm ready to get this out to bid and get this job done. So we'll see if that doesn't work. If we don't get any response, then, maybe next month that's something that I'll need to bring back to you all for further action, but let's hope that's not the case. And that's all I have unless you have any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for the city manager? All right. Seeing none, we'll go to item 7, is addition of items to the meeting agenda received after the close of the agenda deadline. I did not receive any. We're going to 8, unfinished business. Item A, consideration of second reading of ordinance 2311-1401, an ordinance amending the zoning map of Kingston, Tennessee by zoning certain territories annexed by resolution 2311-1401 as C2 Business Highway Business District. To hear a motion for this second reading.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Wright, second by Mr. Childs. Ms. Wright, anything?
Nothing, sir.
Mr. Childs?
No, sir.
Council? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown. Yes. Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Nim.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Item B is consideration of the second reading of ordinance 2311-1402, an ordinance adopting and enacting a comprehensive codification and revision of the personnel rules and regulations of the city of Kingston. Do you hear a motion on this second reading?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Wright, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Bradwell. Ms. Wright, anything?
Just wanted to thank all the employees and staff for putting this extensive document together. I know it was a lot of hard work.
Mr. Bradwell, anything? Mr. Childs, anything?
No.
Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown. Yes. Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Nim.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Consideration of the second reading of ordinance 2311-1403, an ordinance amending the annual budget of the city of Kingston, Tennessee for fiscal year 2023-2024. To hear a motion on this second reading.
I make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Childs, or second?
I second.
Second by Mr. Bradwell. Mr. Childs?
No.
Mr. Bradwell? Anything? Ms. Wright?
Nothing.
Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown. You want to repeat that so he can vote?
I can.
I'm sorry,
That's-
when your mother called.
Understandable. Yes, yes, sir. Mr. Brown, we're voting on item C, consideration of second reading of ordinance 2311-1403, an ordinance amending the annual budget for fiscal year 2023 and 24. Have a motion by Mr. Childs, second by Mr. Bradwell.
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye.
5 ayes.
New business. Item A is consideration to authorize the city manager to begin the procurement process for garbage pickup. We discussed this last Tuesday, and so you and Mr. Thompson can go ahead and get started on getting this bid package ready. To hear a motion to go ahead and consider the authorization.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Childs, second by Ms. Wright. Mr. Childs, you have anything?
No.
Ms. Wright?
Nothing, sir.
Council? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Item B is consideration to fill three expiring term vacancies on the Historical Zoning Commission. We had three people that were interested back by email. That'd be Mary Pippin, Adam Gallahart, and Michael Stooksbury for these vacant positions. To hear a motion to put these three on the Historical Zoning Commission.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Wright, second by Mr. Childs. Anything else on those three?
Thank you for stepping up to fill these vacancies.
Madam Clerk, call the roll on the vacancies.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Item C is consideration to fill one expiring term vacancy on Library Board, and that email came from Carrie Donahue. Do we have a motion to consideration to fill her? I guess she's already on there, correct, Ms. Jackson?
Correct.
Yeah, she's extending her term. To hear a motion for that.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Bradwell, second by Ms. Wright. Mr. Bradwell. Ms. Wright.
Once again, thank you for volunteering.
Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Item D is consideration to authorize, what's wrong? Consideration to authorize the surplus of city property. There is a list of property, not as specific as some, but it has got, Ms. Jackson's been working on that list. Do I hear a motion to surplus this property?
Make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Childs, second by Ms. Wright. Mr. Childs?
Don't need to get rid of it.
Ms. Wright?
Nothing, sir.
Madam Clerk, council, any comments?
Nope.
Madam Clerk, call the roll on the surplus property.
Councilmember Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye. No other business on the agenda tonight. This means adjourned. Now we'll go on the regular meeting of the Kingston Beer Board. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Member Bradwell,
Here.
Vice Chair Brown,
Present.
Member Childs,
Present.
Member Glenn, Member Johnson, Member Wright,
Present.
Chairman Neal.
Present. To hear a motion to approve the previous minutes as written.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any corrections or deletions to the minutes?
Nothing, sir.
Mr. Childs. Madam Clerk, call the roll on the previous minutes.
Member Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Chair Brown,
Yes.
Member Childs,
Yes.
Member Wright,
Yes.
Chairman Neal.
Aye.
5 ayes.
With no business on the beer board, this meeting is adjourned. Now we'll go right straight into the regular meeting of the Kingston Water Board. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Member Bradwell,
Here.
Vice Chair Brown,
Present.
Member Childs,
Present.
Member Gwen, Member Johnson, Member Wright,
Present.
Chairman Neal.
Present. To hear a motion to approve the previous minutes.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mr.
second.
And second by Mr. Bradwell. Anyone see any corrections or deletions?
Nothing, sir.
Mr. Bradwell, anything? Council? Board? Sorry. Madam Clerk, call the roll on the previous minutes.
Member Bradwell,
Yes.
Vice Chair Brown,
Yes.
Member Childs,
Yes.
Member Wright,
Yes.
Chairman Neal.
Aye. Now we have time for any citizens' comments. Is there anyone wishing to address the water board tonight? All right, seeing none, we'll go into the utility director's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have one thing, and then I'll yield to the utility director. Of course, you have my written report. You know, I always try to let you all know anytime we have an employee leave, and it dawned on me that I failed to do that. In one case, we did accept recently the resignation of Dave Ott, who was one of the operators at our water plant. So we're we're in the process of filling that position now, and we wish him the best. So that's all I have. I'll yield again.
Thank you, sir. Just a few things tonight. It's been a little slower for us this month than normal, which we're thankful for that. Allowed us to catch up on some loose ends. We're getting ready to be starting our lead service line inventory, which is required by TDEC, which is due by October 24th of this year. So we hope to begin in that right after the holidays, get that taken care of. We also hope to begin cammering and cleaning of roughly about 15,000 feet of our sewer lines, plus of our sewer lines through the Dura Group with our ARPA fund, beginning sometime after the first of the year also. So that'll be a big help getting us into the next phase. And just one other thing that I got, just a reminder that we are going to have the 500 block of North 3rd Street shut off tomorrow for some time to do some service line relocations. But that's all I have, unless y'all have any questions for me.
Does anyone have any questions for the utility director? Mr. Brown.
Can you give us a quick update about the water extension to the gas station off Lad Landing Boulevard? What's the latest?
The sewer line, you mean?
The sewer line?
To Casey's.
The latest that I've heard is that's just been put on a standstill. Speaking of that, Mr. Brown, I did have contact with a representative there. I think it was a week and a half ago, that they're going to reach out maybe to a property owner there nearby to see if they can buy some property to put in a field line. But as far as that right now, it's still on hold. They're, I think, trying to exhaust all their avenues.
You know, I would remind them when I talk to them, the longer they put it off, the more expensive all this piping gets, and our deal may not be as, we may have to come back to them if the piping has gone up, that our portion.
And I have reminded them that on a couple of occasions. And just another thing, I think, just to inform you all this, they've even I think looked at possibly seeing if they could get a permit or permission maybe from TDOT to run along the edge of their right of way to get it to Galahar Road. Now, what the purpose was in behind that, I don't know. But that's just the conversation that had been talked about.
Anything else tonight for the water board? All right, before I adjourn, I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We'll see you next year. Meeting's adjourned.
See you on Tuesday.
Well, no, Tuesday, yeah.